All right, and once again, one of my stepping out of the Tyler Perry arena videos, but Colin Kaepernick. I'm sorry, I hope I pronounced that right. Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, I felt like this was definitely a video to do immediately rather than later. You know how usually I wait several days after a big news story drops to put my 2 cents in, but here's the funny thing about this, and I do find it funny in a way. Earlier today on Labor Day, ironically enough, Facebook and Instagram were down for, I want to say, maybe about 20 minutes or so. I know last night on September the 2nd, I was having trouble posting things to Instagram. It was lagging, not working, but today it went down, and obviously on Twitter it was trending. And what I found funny about it, like earlier in the morning, it was about MGK put out a song dissing Eminem as a response to what Eminem said on the Kamikaze album. Then, midday, I was just relaxing, putting some videos on the channel. Then around maybe 5:36-ish, that's when Facebook and Instagram went down. Lo and behold, when I refreshed my stuff around maybe 6:15, 6:20, I saw at least like 4 or 5 trending subjects on Twitter, like Nike, NFL, Colin Kaepernick, and things of that nature. And then I decided to click on it, and I knew something was up because after clicking on Twitter and I saw the advertisement, I'm like, oh, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go on Facebook, because going on Facebook in the midst of this is just like going on Facebook in the middle of a political campaign or election night. It ain't going to be too good. But basically, you got people who are okay with it, and then you got the people who are, and I'm surprised I didn't see a hashtag for boycott Nike. I feel like that's going to come up within the next few days, if not tomorrow, by the time I post this video. But here's my thing, and I actually did a video months ago with my thoughts about the kneeling during the national anthem, and honestly, I can't even remember exactly what I said, because I know that some people are going to watch this video and then go back and say, well, Jeremy, based off your other video, it sounded like, you're being a hypocrite. And I think in that video, I mentioned something, I brazed over the subject of, being disrespectful and stuff like that, because and I'm just speaking from my perspective in terms of what I would do. Personally speaking, I wouldn't kneel during the national anthem. That's my personal choice. I would stand, hand over my heart, just like the Pledge of Allegiance, hat off, basically due to the fact, I can definitely understand both sides of the controversy here, because I am African American, obviously. Well, you wouldn't know that if you didn't see me on a live stream or something, or you could tell by the voice. I don't know. But really, more to the point here, I feel like when it comes down to it, I was raised that way, back in elementary school and whatnot. It was appropriate to stand, hand over the heart. If you were wearing a hat, take it off, recite the pledge. And that, I don't know. And again, this shows how out of the loop I am, because I don't have any kids or anything. But we used to have the moment of silence, right after the pledge. Do they even do that anymore? I feel like I should know this, but I don't even know if they still do that in schools anymore. But, I just felt like, growing up, when you're a kid and you're told to do something, you do it. But once you get older, you maybe start questioning things. I never really did, but I grew to understand more about the importance of the pledge. It wasn't just something you did at the beginning of a school day or something, or during Veterans Day. It's just, oh, we got to sit in the auditorium and listen to a bunch of old people talk about, fighting in war. But as you get older, you appreciate it. Not to mention, I still do have a couple people who are in the service even today. And as I, looked over the family tree, that gave me even more respect for the flag and whatnot. But on the flip side, I can definitely understand why some people would kneel, due to the fact that, I'm not pledging to a flag or a country where not all people are are treated equal. And I can definitely understand that as well. But in my personal opinion, I wouldn't kneel during the national anthem, just because as a representation to respect for my family that's in the service, not to mention all those who have laid their lives down for this country and are still fighting today, I would still stand during the national anthem. That's just my personal choice. If you don't agree, that's all good. I know that we're not treated, and I'm talking not just, African American, but all kinds of ethnicities, sexualities, and whatnot. People aren't treated equal. I can definitely understand that. But for the time being, I'm still living in this country. I know it's not perfect, but at the same time, I respect it. But more to the point, you know, I even went online and I never post anything political. The closest thing to something politically charged I posted, and this wasn't even political per se, it was more like a racism thing. It was right after, well, I think it was the same day that Roseanne's show got canceled. And then I didn't get any backlash on this. I actually remember posting something and a lot of people liked it. It was kind of, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said something along the lines of, you know, it's kind of ironic that Roseanne was trying to play like the, what was it, like the blue collar white American family that were Trump supporters that weren't racist, yet she went on Twitter proving that she's a racist, something like that. I forgot what it was. And then her show got canceled. I can't wait until they show that episode of Blackish in regards to kneeling during their national anthem. And then I put a gif of a guy, you know, drinking, like sipping on coffee or something like that, kind of like Kermit the Frog with tea. And I got a lot of likes on it. But, you know, that was like the first time I ever did something like that, posting. But because I usually stay away from politics and whatnot, not my cup of tea. Do I stay informed as best I can? Do I get in discussions with people, those who are level-headed about it? It's kind of like, you know, being a Christian and growing up in the church and going to Liberty and studying the Bible and whatnot. You learn that it's not always about proving yourself right. It's about having healthy discussions, learning from both sides. You don't always have to agree. One person doesn't have to quote unquote convert. That doesn't just apply to religion. I'm talking like politics and everything in general, but getting an understanding from the other side, so to speak. I think that's the most important thing. When it comes down to Nike, a lot of people are saying they roll in the dice. I can definitely see why people will be like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. But at the same time, I can definitely see why they're doing it in terms of trying to be on the right side of history. Some people are chalking it up as a just a shame, like Nike would do that. It's like, whoa, you're talking about somebody who made the sacrifice. And I'm actually going to pull it up on my phone here if I can, because I've actually been seeing the pictures all day. I want to see if I can get Nike's slogan for what's going on. Because I got the picture of Colin. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. And some people who are not supporting the advertisement are saying, well, Colin didn't sacrifice everything. What about the people he's disrespecting during kneeling of the anthem? You know, like the people who laid down their lives in the service and protection of the country. I mean, again, I can see both sides of it, but at the same time, it's like, well, I don't like personally. I think I've done this. I think I did a video back during the whole Starbucks boycott thing. You know, when the two black men, where was it, in like New York, Pennsylvania, they got arrested and people like boycotting, you know, Starbucks. Not that I drink coffee. I never stepped foot in the Starbucks before. The only Starbucks I ever stepped foot in was the Starbucks inside of the Barnes & Noble back when I was in college on campus. You know, if I had to buy a textbook or whatever, if I would browse around Barnes & Noble, I would get like a brownie or something from Starbucks, but never the coffee. I didn't chalk that up to Starbucks being racist. It was just one employee or manager or whatever that did that. I'm not going to label Starbucks as a franchise, or excuse me, as a corporation as racist. So with Nike, I mean, I got a pair of Nike shoes. I got a couple of Nike jackets. I think I bought those a couple years ago at Rugged Warehouse. I'm not going to boycott Nike. I mean, people, you can do what you want. That's all I'm saying. But I do find it interesting that they're backing Colin. I did like how they backed up Serena Williams over the whole quote unquote controversy of her wearing like a Black Panther themed suit during her matches. And guess what? She still won, even though she couldn't wear it. It's like people will find the most ridiculous things to be offended over in this generation, but at the same time, we are living during events that will definitely be in history books. Now, whether or not you agree with Nike for supporting Colin and making him the face of the 30th anniversary, you know, let's try to keep it civil here. I feel like on this channel we can definitely do that. There's rarely times where I see people going at it in the comments, but I mean, sometimes there are trolls, and trolls are dealt with, not by me, because I ain't got time for that. I'm making videos. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with Nike choosing Colin as the face of their promotion? Do you feel that it should have been somebody else, that Colin's disrespectful? Personally speaking, even though I wouldn't kneel during the anthem, I don't think it's a show of being disrespectful. But at the same time, if I was one, what was it, a couple months ago where they made that, well, it's hard to say if I said law, but the regulation that if there was anybody on any team to kneel during the anthem, that it would be a fine or something for the team as a whole. I would hate being on that team due to the fact that I've always been a person where I do not support the one apple spoils the entire bunch thing. It's something that has been sitting with me ever since grade school, you know, like being like a group project, and if one person in the group messed up, then the whole group lost points or something like that. I just hated being in that scenario. So imagine that with money. So, but in any case, again, personally, I would stand. If you kneel, it's whatever. I mean, I feel like there are much more disrespectful ways of quote unquote disrespecting the flag in the military. He hasn't, to my knowledge, stepped on a flag, burned a flag, pissed on a flag. There are people out there who do that. So, I mean, once again, I don't really see anything wrong with it. I wouldn't do it personally. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As news trickles down on this case, you know, I'll definitely check it out. But like I said, I'm going to let it marinate for about 24 more hours because, again, I don't want to read any articles online because I know it'll just be one side versus another and bias and all that. I just want the facts. You know, why did they choose him? Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll talk to you all soon.